Infinite You Life Coaching, and I'm here today to lead you through a restorative yoga practice. So restorative yoga is an interesting yoga because we hold poses for an extended period of time. Poses can range from 5 to 20 minutes of how long you would hold that pose. Today we'll be holding poses for mainly 10 minutes each, with the exception of if it's both sides, left, right, then we'll do 5 minutes on each side. Restorative yoga is very meditative and calming, so prepare to reboot your parasympathetic nervous system so that you fall into that rest and relax rather than fight or flight. For restorative yoga, it's really important that as we get into our positions in our asana, that we have a lot of props. So the props are here so that we have no sensation once we get into a pose. So a good example of that would be butterfly. So if I'm in butterfly, immediately if my knees are high, I know that I'm going to want a blanket, or in this case I'm going to use a towel. So putting a towel underneath will raise my hips just a little bit, allowing a little bit more room for my legs to come down. And then I'm going to use 2 blocks to support. Now the goal here being I don't feel any sensation, so we can change the blocks to whatever position we need to in order to get into a position that's comfortable. Once we're in that pose, we're just going to breathe deeply, long exhales, and just allowing the rest of our body to relax. So I'll keep an eye on the time on each pose, and I'll rouse you before we get to the next pose. And then other props you may want to have handy. So as you can see, I have blankets. I have a couple of beach towels. I do have an eye mask, which depending on how you are relaxing, you might want an eye mask to just help bring some darkness. You can close blinds. You can really make the room as comfortable as you want. Blankets can be used as a prop underneath you, but also covering you up so that temperature-wise you're able to relax. And then I also have a bolster here, so let me slide it over. I have a yoga bolster. Not everyone will have a yoga bolster, so alternatives would include some long pillows. This is a pretty firm pillow, so I equate it to the firmness of a couch cushion. So that's your goal there. And then of course I have some yoga blocks. We're going to start just in a comfortable seated position. Maybe you want to put a blanket down to raise those hips. So raising your hips is super helpful in, one, opening up this hip area, but also to allow your pelvis to kind of tip forward, allowing for deeper breathing. So once we are in position, let's just do a couple of roll backward with our shoulders, and then a couple of forwards. Maybe just take your head around a couple times, just allowing your body to loosen, and then really taking notice of your sit bones. So you can soften your gaze or close your eyes, and then bring your awareness to your sit bones. Feel how your mat or the floor or cushion below you is supporting you. And feel that there is part of your body that wants to sink down into the earth. Your tailbone just wanting to root down. That there are parts of you, like your crown and your spine, that are rising upwards. So begin to allow these parts of you that want to rise to move upward, and the parts of you that want to sink down into the earth, allow them to sink. Always maintaining that nice tall spine, and then bringing your attention to your breath. Just watching, we're not altering our breath, allowing it to be whatever it is right now. Feeling that cool air moving past your nostrils. and the warm air that comes out. Keep noticing the sensations of your breath. Cool air moving in and warm air moving out. And we'll set an intention for our practice today. I titled this practice just a body reset. But part of that reset is letting go. I reset my body by letting go all that no longer serves me. In every pose we take today, we'll connect with our breath. And when it feels right, you can gently open your eyes. And from here, you can actually stay on your towel. I'm just going to turn so that you can see my positioning. And we're going to come into a seated forward fold. So having the pillow underneath us is just giving us a little more space in our hip area. Taking your yoga bolster or whatever equivalent you have, we're going to set that on here. Now, if it feels like you want this to be higher, that's when you can start bringing in other objects. So I can bring in a folded towel. Maybe I want to bring that a little bit closer. You can use other pillows, more blankets, whatever it is that feels comfortable for you. I'm going to stick just with the bolster. So let's take a long, slow, deep breath in as we extend our spine up towards the sky, like a string is pulling your spine up tall. And on your exhale, we're just going to start walking our fingertips a little bit forward, bringing the pillow as close as we need to our belly. And then from here, we're just going to allow our body to soften and curl forward. Now, if you're feeling any kind of sensation, now's the time to start adjusting. So we'll use this first minute of the pose to just find the right pose for ourselves. I'm going to take one yoga block and just allow it to support my head. And I immediately can feel this is the pose for me. Okay, just allowing yourself to find another 1% comfort even. And once you found it, you allow your body to let go. And just breathe in and breathe out. Finding your own pace. Just allowing your exhale to be a little bit longer than your inhale. And then we're going to come into silence. If after this pose you find the silence to be too much, on your end you can always add some nature sounds or some gentle healing music. But for now, we welcome silence. Watching our breath. If thoughts begin coming in, you can acknowledge them and just let them go. And just breathe. can begin slowly to just deepen your breath. Breathing into your belly. And long, slow exhale. Let's do it again. Breathing deeply into your belly. And long, slow exhale. If you had a block under your head, you can take and put the block to the side. And keeping your gaze soft and moving slowly, I'm going to remove the towel from underneath my bottom. And I'm going to take my bolster directly behind me. And allow that bolster to come right up against my tailbone. And then taking my hands, I'm going to walk myself backwards to put my head down on the bolster. If you want to put a blanket or another pillow underneath your head, you can do that. If it would be more comfortable to put a rolled towel under your knees, you can do that. Okay, now I'm going to take my rolled blanket. I'm going to stick it right underneath my knees, just to find a little bit more comfort. Remember, this first minute or so of the pose is about just finding a little bit more comfort. Allowing your chest to be open, palms up, finding a comfortable angle for your arms. If you're looking to cushion your arms, you could put a blanket or some towels underneath each arm. Maybe just experimenting with that and seeing how that feels. It's about making a little nest for yourself. Getting it as comfy and cozy as possible. And once you find your position, coming back to your breath. In this pose, you can completely surrender. And just take our inward eye to our breath. Allowing everything else to flow away. And allowing our exhales to be just a little bit longer than the inhale in a relaxed way. Nothing is forced. Just allowing every exhale to be very soft and slow. And welcoming the stillness of our bodies and the stillness of our mind. Allowing any thoughts but not engaging with them. Allowing to float past like a cloud in the sky. Just breathe. And slowly, we'll just start deepening our breath. Gently just increasing the volume of air we take in. Allowing your inhale to go deep into your belly. And release it ever so slowly. And when it feels comfortable, we're just going to bring our soles to the floor, our feet. Then finding a comfortable side, we're just going to roll off of our pillow or our bolster. And again, eyes closed or softened. You're going to remove the bolster. If you have blankets at your side or under your legs, you can remove those. And we're going to bring our bolster next to us as we lay flat on the floor. And then once you get to a comfortable position with your back, we're just going to raise our bottom just enough to slide those pillows or that bolster underneath. And we're going to be coming into a waterfall pose, so we're putting our feet straight up in the air like legs up the wall. So allow yourself to find comfort here. Maybe start just by tucking your knees in and seeing if your hips feel balanced, how your back and your neck feel. If you found a good position, we're just going to allow our feet to go straight up towards the sky.
We are going to hold this pose for 10 minutes. So you may want to play a little bit with finding the balance of your feet so it's not strenuous. Again, using this first minute or two of the pose to find comfort. In this pose, we're welcoming the reversal of energy. The blood is moving down our legs, really up our legs, back towards our torso. We want to allow any kind of positive change here. Allow that energy to shift. Arms are as wide as feels comfortable, palms are up. Once you find that position of balance, you're just breathing. Again, finding the right breath for you. Allowing this to be meditative. Not moving all around. Once we find comfort, we're going to stay for the rest of the time. Just watch our breath. Surrender. And taking a slow, deep breath in. A deep breath in. And let that go ever so gently. Let's do that one more time. Long, slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale, bringing your toes and your heels down to the floor, we'll lift our hips and slide that bolster out from underneath. And putting our hips down. And when it feels comfortable, just roll onto a comfortable side. Eyes can still be closed or softened. Just breathe. When it feels comfortable, you will bring yourself up to a seated position. And now, we're going to we're using our bolster again. We're going to be taking one block and standing it tall. Then the second block, we're going to put on its side. And then from there, we'll be balancing our bolster on top of this, making an incline. Sometimes I will angle that backward a little bit so it doesn't slip out. And once you have your bolster pillow set up, we're just going to turn so that we're on our left hip. We're going to get that left hip really close to the bolster. And then draping your hands, one on each side of the bolster. You're just slowly walking yourself down, allowing yourself to find comfort. And this is complete surrender. Palms can be up or down. This is a left-right pose, so it'll be 5 minutes on this side. And then we'll leave the bolster and blocks just where they are, and we'll let you know when 5 minutes is up so you can switch to the other side. And just breathe. Allow the bolster to support you. Feel how the bolster and the floor are so safe and supportive. Allow your exhales to just a little bit longer. Allow your body to soften. just going to push into our palms. Eyes can remain closed or softened. And then coming to the other side, putting your right hip to the bolster, draping your arms out on your side, finding a comfortable position with your legs, and easing yourself down onto the bolster or elbows. Allowing your body to soften on this side as well. Just watch your breath. Ever so gently start taking deeper breaths. Long, slow, deep breath in. And we'll take ever so gently. Do that one more time. Long, slow, deep breath in. And let that go. When it feels comfortable, just push your knees to the floor as you raise yourself up. And extend our feet straight out. You could do bound angle pose or butterfly if that feels comfortable. You'd have to have enough props to roll under your knees, which I do have my blankets, so folding my blankets up, one on either side. If you choose bound angle, just allowing those knees to be supported. Remember, no sensation. Maybe you want a little pillow under your head. And once you find a comfortable spot, just allow everything to let go. Although it doesn't seem like we did much today, we did a lot. And we're going to use the Savasana pose. Just allow everything we did to sink in. Full surrender. Allow all your weight to move into the floor, to the pillows, the bolster, the cushion. Feel how your body is supporting. And know that your body has gained many benefits from today. Allow these benefits to sink in, to become a part of you. Again, we're going to return to our breath. Finding your own face. Exhale is ever so slightly longer than your inhales. Surrender. Let go.
choose to stay in your Savasana longer. Or just take a few deep breaths in. Let them go ever so gently. Another deep breath in. And ever so gently let that go. And then if you'd like to close out with me to seated position, just roll to one side. Slowly come up to a comfortable seated position, moving any props you may be using. Eyes can remain closed or softened, coming to a comfortable seat. And notice the difference in your body. Feel how much more grounded you are. So much more of your energy is sinking down. Notice your breath. Know that in this restorative practice, we softened our fascia tissue. We took deep, calming breaths and allowed our body to restore itself by sitting in silence. I thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. May you have a beautiful rest of your day.